That does play a factor too. Sometimes when women have older kids, guys don't tend to look at that. It's, so bad. And, my philosophy a lot of times is like when I meet a woman who have kids and the kids are young, automatically in my head, most women would probably say that, damn, he might be thinking about the kids. But believe it or not, if they 3, 4, 5, I'm thinking like, where is this baby daddy? Like, I need to sit down and talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that y'all not that far removed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you might not know how to co-parent. I don't really know how this whole scenario is about to play out. So, guys do take in consideration of age. That's why I say it's circumstantial,
It is, because when you think about women with older children, she's absolutely right. They don't have the same issues. But I thought it was interesting, especially for you being an alpha male, that you didn't bring up one of the issues that you bring up all the time. Well, you did kind of, but you didn't hit it as hard as I thought you would when it comes to having a guy who is the head of his household, who likes his meal served first, who doesn't like kids in the living room. They got to be in their own spaces. Alpha males and high value men like structure and organization. And a lot of times when you're coming into a home that's already up and running, it's hard for you to come in here and be like, babe, I don't really like kids in the living room. Mm-hmm. They got their own rooms and TVs in their rooms. That's going to be hard for a mother that has allowed her children to play on the couch and watch children TV in the living room. It's going to be hard for her to go to her kids and say, well, you know what? My new boyfriend doesn't like kids in the living room. Mm-hmm. So you guys have to go to your room and watch TV. That's real hard.
Mm-hmm. But see, again, that's circumstances, because the reason I didn't hit that hard is because that scenario would have to be painted for me. So, because let's say, for instance, like some women that are, quote unquote, what they would say is independent. I'm paying my bills. I got my own house, this and that. If the man moves into their house, it's their house. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, a man could come in there and start putting in some structure. You know what I'm saying? But it also can cause some friction and fights, and then the woman has to also decide, because kids are very, very smart. Kids do guilt trips. They play parents or like adults against each other. You know what I'm saying? They ask one, their mom something, and then they'll play that card of, we all know what card I'm about to say. You ain't my daddy. That can come into play. So, in a hurry. So don't get it twisted. Like, I understand why some women would be like, I don't look at my kids as baggage, and that's what I'm saying. But they also are not dealing with the same thing a man would deal with, because kids to most women, hey, they kids are the apple in their eye. They don't do no wrong. They don't see nothing wrong that they kid can fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they kid could be caught dead to rights, and they gonna be like, well, it ain't that bad. You don't gotta go that hard on them.
Who were we talking to last year that said they don't even have sex in the house because they don't want the kids to hear? I'm like, so there's a man that goes to work.
I don't know. I don't think
I forgot who it was.
I don't know nobody like that.
I forgot who it was, but they literally do not want and both of them were like this. Oh, we don't want the kids to hear us having sex. I don't know whether it's some type of trauma that they went through.
They don't need to be together.
But they don't like the kids to hear them. So I'm like, damn, for a woman that works, she's a teacher, husband that's out in the heat all damn day, come home, all he wants is his toes sucked, and you talking about, well, we got to wait till the kids go to sleep and stuff like that. Like, that puts a man in a different frame of mind, and that's why it's easy, I think, for men to step out on situations like that, in baggage in general, because it's easy to meet a person that doesn't have that habit. Even if we switch from having kids to smoking cigarettes, if it's easy to meet people that don't smoke these days. It's just easy. So if you got a dime piece and she's chain smoking Newports, it ain't gonna take you but 5 minutes to meet the same dime that don't have the cigarette habit. It's easy. It is so easy to find someone better. So that's why I thought baggage was a real important issue. List them so that you know what they are, and that you are not picking people who are okay with those things.
But see, that's also why I said, like, you're gonna have some women, even though you said there was women on the comments that listed,
I'm going to read them.
Listed her kids is baggage, but I was like, but you're going to have a lot more women that's not even going to look at their kids is baggage. And And also, like I said, like when you're talking about baggage, I don't even really know sometimes if people can look in the mirror and recognize and recognize
I'm loud,
recognize they own baggage. You know,
mad,
what I'm saying? Like no one,
that's baggage.
Like no one's gonna sit there and say like, you know, we're in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? Like. In the bank, I might get a little loud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or
I might embarrass you at dinner, yelling at the waiter. You know,
confrontation.
Right.
Dress code. You know what I'm saying? Some women might dress a little scantily clad and think there's nothing wrong with that, and the man could be like, you know,
I wouldn't consider that baggage. I consider that's something that he just doesn't like about her. Baggage is just something that you come along with. You could change the way you dress. You could put on a blazer. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is, if someone recognized that is a problem, the reason I put that as a baggage because I talked to a woman one time and for the most part, is like she was always being confronted with the way that she dressed. You get what I'm saying? And that could be looked at as baggage because she doesn't want to change that part. It's who I am. If you met me this way, this is how I am. You know what I'm saying? So it could be looked at as baggage as well because you're not even negotiable to flex on your dress code. You know what I'm saying?
And so in that situation, your baggage is you're just stubborn and you're not submissive.
Exactly.
So that would be on the list. Hey, you know, that would be one of the things you want to talk to somebody, especially a high value guy that you say that you want. Because I don't think there's anybody that's listening that's saying, you know what, a guy that works at McDonald's that didn't graduate from college is fine. I know we're not saying that. I know that everybody listening wants a high value guy. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody wants a high value guy. So you have to understand that most high value guys, might have a problem with that. So it might behoove you when you're sitting across from this doctor to say, you know what? I have a problem with men telling me what to do. I'm not very submissive. That is something that you need to say up front. You have to expose that about yourself.
But
that is a big deal.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I don't think
that's a big deal.
I don't think that people can look in the mirror
and say that
and admit to that because they don't see it as a problem. See, when you have baggage and then admit to it, sit there saying like I'm not submissive, I could probably line like 50 women up, and half of them might not know that they're feminists. They might really feel that, you know, I have the right to have my own opinion. Right. Like when I talk to women a lot of times and you hear that word, that's why I use them air quotes when I say independent. I'm talking to this lady about the show, and she was like, well, I'm an independent woman. Like, I take care of myself. I make my own money. I bought my own car. I have my own house. And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, welcome to adulthood. You supposed to be doing that shit. Like, that doesn't make you independent because you're doing that shit. You're an adult. You're supposed to be doing that. If a man is doing that, he's an adult. He's supposed to be doing that. Like, we've gotten so sensitive with, like, titles and where we place people. Baggage is one of those things that I feel like most people can't really list them like that because they don't even recognize. I just think they haven't done the work. That's the answer. They just haven't done the work yet, and maybe it hasn't come to their frontal lobe that's keeping them right. That's keeping them from their dream guy. Your baggage is keeping you from your dream guy because the baggage you have is so heavy, and it has you so engulfed that you are actually attracting people that will deal with your baggage. You're dealing with the brother that don't care that you smoke. You dealing with the brother that don't care that you loud and aggressive for no reason. You picking a guy that's okay with that. Maybe someone that's a little softer than you, that's, you know, light spoken or whatever. You're picking the guy that's gonna deal with your bullshit baggage. Point blank, period. Well, they're settling.
And not settling. They're picking the people who aren't going to say, you know what, I don't really like cigarettes. So you're going to pick the guy who either don't mind or chain smokes with your ass.
Yeah, but
period.
But that's what I'm saying. But when you lowering your standards to that, like, because at the end of the day, for you to be successful, I would say that, you know, your goal would be to be in a relationship and to get married. Now, I could fuck someone with four kids and never take them serious and not marry them and string them along in the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? And that would be the fight that we always have. But they don't recognize, like, I'm looking at that saying, Before kids is a problem, your drinking is a problem. I can come over and smash you from time to time, and we can play this role of boyfriend, girlfriend.
Right.
But I'm not really serious about you.
So
and
you're
she
saying,
doesn't realize why. She's like, I'm good.
And that's why it's important for you to know what your weakness is. So when they leave, it's not a question of why. When they leave, you should be able to answer yourself why they left. Unless, of course, he did something really fucked up. But if you're left there like, wait, I was perfect, nothing was, it's time for you to look in the mirror and really evaluate, well, damn, maybe the kids was too loud. And maybe he just couldn't tell me that the kids were bothering him. It's gotta be something. So yeah, it's important for you to list your cons. So when shit start falling apart, you can say, well, is it any of these things? I know for me that my cons would have kept me from my king.